It starts not with a sight, but with a smell. That's what they never tell you. The apocalypse has a scent. For me, it was the smell of ozone and old blood. Ozone, sharp and electric, like the air after a lightning strike that's torn the sky in two. And beneath it, the iron-rich, coppery tang of blood that has dried in the sun for 1,000 years. It's the smell of the void, the breath of the dragon. They told us we were pioneers, that we were making history. Dr. Eris Thorne, chief xenogeologist for the Ares 9 mission, the man who would unlock the secrets of the Valles Marineris. They showed my picture on the news feeds back on Earth. A smiling man in a crisp blue suit, pointing at a holographic map of the chasm. A confident man. A sane man. That man is gone. I am what he became. And I am telling you this not as a warning. It's far, far too late for that, but as a confession. A testament. I need you to hear me. Not with your ears, but with the silent, dark space inside your skull where your own thoughts whisper. Can you feel it? That little emptiness behind your eyes? That's where it lives. That's where it has always lived. The first sign wasn't the hum. It was the silence that came before it. A silence so profound it had weight. A pressure on the eardrums. We were 200 meters down, in a sub-regolith pocket we'd designated Site Omega. And the world just stopped. The gentle hiss of the climate control? Gone. The faint vibration of the drill? Gone. The sound of my own breathing inside my helmet gone. It was a vacuum of sound. A preview of the void. And then, the hum began. Life on Mars, before, was a symphony of routine. A beautiful, sterile, predictable ballet. We woke at 6 o'clock station time. We ate nutrient paste that tasted vaguely of cinnamon or chicken. We ran diagnostics on the hydroponics bay. We sent status reports to a Earth that was a pale blue dot 20 light minutes away. Our world was a series of interconnected habs, a tin can of human warmth against the infinite, rust-colored cold. Our mission was simple. Investigate the anomalous energy readings from the Valles Marineris. The siren song, they called it. A low-frequency signal that wasn't natural. It had to be a geological phenomenon, a unique harmonic caused by the wind scraping across certain mineral deposits. That's what we published. That's what we believed. I was the believer. Captain Eva Rostova, our stoic commander, she was the skeptic. She'd sit during our briefings, her sharp Slavic features carved from ice, and she'd say, "The universe is not in the habit of making music for us, Eris. There is a source. Find it." And Dr. Kenji Tanaka, our biologist, he was the dreamer. What if it's a fossil? He'd muse, his eyes gleaming behind his glasses. A fossilized record of a primordial event? A sonic fossil. The death rattle of a planet, trapped in the rock. We found the source. It wasn't a fossil. It was a nest. Site Omega. A cavern so vast our helmet lights couldn't find the ceiling. The air was thin, unbreathable, but it was there. An atmosphere. And the walls, they weren't rock. Not any rock I'd ever seen. They were smooth, black, and reflective as obsidian, but they pulsed with a faint, internal light. Veins of silver ran through them, like circuitry, or like capillaries. And in the center of the cavern, suspended in the air without any visible support, was the obelisk. It was a shard of that same black, living stone, about 3 meters tall, humming that same low, resonant hum we'd detected from orbit. It was beautiful. It was the most beautiful and terrible thing I had ever seen. The first rule of planetary contact: do not touch. Observe. Record. Analyze. I touched it. The moment my gloved finger made contact with that impossibly smooth, cold surface, the world didn't explode. It inverted. The hum didn't get louder, it slid inside me. It coiled around my spine, a serpent of sound, and took up residence in the base of my skull. And with it came the first whisper. It wasn't a voice. Not in any language I knew. It was a concept. A single, pure idea, implanted directly into my consciousness. A question. Where? I jerked my hand back. My heart was a frantic bird against my ribs. Eva was yelling in my comms, her voice crackling with static. "Thorne. Report." "What happened?" "Nothing." I gasped, my throat dry. A static shock. That's all. It was the first lie, the first crack in the dam. The lie tasted like the ozone and old blood I would come to know so well. Back at the hab, the routines began to curdle. The cinnamon nutrient paste started to taste of ash. The chicken flavor of something spoiled and metallic. I'd be running a diagnostic on the oxygen scrubbers, and I'd hear it, just at the edge of my hearing. The hum, my hum, a personal frequency tuned only to me. Kenji noticed first. Eris, you're not sleeping. He pointed to the biomonitor data. Your REM cycles are chaotic. You're talking in your sleep. What am I saying? I asked, trying to keep my voice light. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Nothing coherent. Just numbers. Coordinates. Over and over. The whispers became a nightly ritual. I'd lie in my bunk, the hab dark and silent except for the thrum of the life support, and I'd feel it, the presence in my mind. It wasn't speaking. It was unfolding. It would show me things. Not images, but understandings. I understood the geometry of silence. I understood the taste of absolute zero. I learned that stars are not born. They are excised from the fabric of the void. I started writing them down. These understandings. In the morning, my desk would be covered in scrawled notes, diagrams of impossible shapes, pages filled with a single, repeating sequence of numbers. 7, 1, 4, 2, 8, 5. I didn't know what it meant, but my hand did. My hand, guided by the hum. Eva confronted me a week later. She stood in the doorway of my lab, arms crossed. Her face was grim. The obelisk is emitting a new frequency, Eris. A focused one. It's targeting this hab. It's targeting you. It's just resonance, I said, the lie coming easier now. Harmonic feedback from the drill samples. It'll pass. She took a step forward. Her eyes, usually so hard and certain, were scared. Kenji is sick. He's changing. His skin. It's becoming reflective. Like the walls of that cavern. The second whisper came that night, louder, clearer. Sleeping. Waking. An illusion. The dragon dreams. You are its dream. I got out of bed. I didn't want my body to move. It simply moved. I walked to the viewport. Outside, the Martian night was a tapestry of impossible stars. But something was wrong. The stars, they weren't twinkling. They were static. Fixed. Like holes poked in a black canvas, and behind them was a deeper black. A hungry black. And then, one of the stars winked. Not a twinkle. A deliberate, slow closing and opening of an eye. A single, vast eye, looking back at me from the emptiness between the stars. I stumbled back, my heart hammering. I looked at Kenji's quarters. The door was open a crack. A faint, silver light pulsed from within. And I could hear a sound. A wet, cracking, squelching sound. The sound of a chrysalis breaking open. The routines were shattered. The horror was no longer in the cavern. It was in our home. It was wearing my friend's face. The next morning, Kenji was at the breakfast table. He was spooning the ash paste into his mouth with a calm, mechanical precision. He looked fine. Better than fine. His skin had a healthy glow. His eyes were clear. Morning, Eris, he said, his voice a perfect mimic of his old self. But it was too perfect. Like a recording. Kenji, are you feeling all right? He smiled. It was a wide, easy smile. But it didn't touch his eyes. His eyes were flat. Dead. Like the surface of a black lake. Never better. I had the most remarkable dream. I dreamt I was floating in a dark, warm ocean. And there was a song, a beautiful, beautiful song. It was teaching me the true names of things. Eva came in. She stopped short, her hand going to the sidearm she always wore. It was a useless gesture, a prop for psychological comfort. But her knuckles were white. Kenji, she said, her voice dangerously calm. Your left hand. Kenji held up his hand. The skin on the back of it was smooth and black, like polished jet. The faint silver capillaries were visible just beneath the surface. He wiggled his fingers. Isn't it wonderful? It doesn't feel the cold anymore. That was the day the transmissions from Earth died. Not with static. With silence. One moment, mission control was chattering away, a distant, comforting buzz of humanity. The next, nothing. The silence of Site Omega. The dragon's silence. It had eaten their voices. Eva tried everything. Redundancies, emergency channels, the deep space beacon. Nothing. The universe had shrunk to the size of our hab, and the rust-colored desert outside our door was just a painting. A backdrop. The real world was here, inside, with us. It's the obelisk, Eva said, her voice hollow. She was staring at the comms panel as if her will alone could force it to life. It's emitting a jamming field. A sphere of silence. It's expanding. It's already swallowed Earth. No, Kenji said from the doorway. We hadn't heard him approach. He was just there. It's not a jamming field. It's a lullaby. The dragon is stirring. It's singing itself awake. And its dream is becoming real. He took a step into the room. His movements were fluid, but wrong. Like a puppet being manipulated by strings attached to another dimension. You should let it in. It's so much easier. The fighting, the fear, it's so noisy. Eva drew her sidearm. Stay back, Kenji. He laughed. It was a sound like shattering glass. Kenji is not here right now. He's learning the geometry of the void. It's far more interesting than biology. That's when the lights flickered. And in that moment of darkness, I saw him. Not the Kenji mask, but the thing underneath. A tall, slender form of shifting darkness, with too many joints in its limbs, and a head that was a single, pulsing orb of silver light. Then the lights stuttered back on, and he was just Kenji again, smiling his dead smile. The third whisper came as I hid in my lab, my hands shaking so badly I could barely pour a water ration. The shell is fragile. The truth is beneath. Peel it back. See, I looked at my own hands. Were my pores a little larger? Was the texture of my skin just slightly off? I felt a sudden, insane urge to scratch at my forearm, to dig my nails in and peel back the skin, to see if the silver veins were waiting for me, too. Betrayal is a quiet thing. It doesn't always come with a shout. That night, Eva came to me. We have to destroy it, she whispered, her face a mask of grim determination. The obelisk. It's the source. We take the emergency charges from the lander. We go back to the cavern. We end this. It was the logical, human response. Fight the monster. Destroy the nest. I should have agreed instantly. But the hum in my head, it purred. It didn't like that plan. It's too late, Eva, I heard myself say. The signal, the change, it's not localized. Destroying the obelisk might be like cutting the head off a hydra. You have no idea what might grow back. She stared at me, her eyes searching mine. And what she saw there made her take a step back. My God, Eris, it's got you too, hasn't it? She left. I heard the airlock cycle. She was going alone. The brave, stupid, beautiful human going to slay the dragon. I should have stopped her. I should have helped her. I just stood there, listening to the hum. It was showing me something new. A city. But not a city of spires and light. A city of angles that hurt the mind. A city built from solidified silence and frozen time. It was the dragon's memory. Its home. And it was so peaceful. There was no fear there. No pain. No messy, chaotic, noisy emotions. There was only the perfect, crystalline order of the void. I heard the explosion through the ground. A dull, muffled thump. The emergency charges. Eva had done it. For a single, glorious moment, the hum stopped. The silence was deafening. It was the most beautiful sound I had ever heard. I could think. My own thoughts in my own voice. The weight was gone. The pressure in my skull vanished. I laughed, a ragged, sobbing sound of pure relief. She'd done it. Eva had won. And then, the hum returned. But it wasn't the same. It was deeper. Louder. It wasn't a whisper anymore. It was a roar heard with the mind. It was a roar of rage. The entire hab shuddered. Alarms blared. Red emergency lights strobed, painting the walls in pulses of blood. I ran to the viewport. Outside, the Martian sky was tearing. It was like looking at a projection on a sheet, and someone had just grabbed the sheet and ripped it down the middle. Behind the sky wasn't space. It was a swirling, chaotic mass of non-color. A bruise on reality. And from the direction of the Valles Marineris, a pillar of that same impossible darkness erupted, punching a hole through the atmosphere, reaching for the stars. The obelisk wasn't the dragon. It was the lock. and Eva had just blown the door off its hinges. The fourth whisper wasn't a whisper. It was a command that vibrated in every atom of my body. See, my vision shifted. I could see the layers of the world. I could see the hab not as a structure, but as a fleeting arrangement of molecules. I could see the energy of the failing systems, flickering like dying fireflies. And I could see Kenji's quarters. It was no longer a room. It was a wound. A bleeding, weeping tear in the fabric of this reality, and through it, I could see the city of angles, the void, in all its terrible, silent glory. The airlock cycled. Eva stumbled back in. Her suit was scorched. Her face was bleeding from a cut on her forehead. Her eyes were wide with a terror so absolute it had burned away everything else. It didn't die, she choked out, collapsing to her knees. It hatched. She looked up at me, and in her eyes, I saw the reflection of what was behind me. I turned around. Kenji was there. But the Kenji mask was gone. The thing that stood in the corridor was 7 feet tall, a being of articulated obsidian and molten silver. Its limbs were too long, its fingers ending in sharp, crystalline shards. Where its face should have been was a vortex of swirling dark matter, and in the center of that vortex, a single, silver pinprick of light focused on me. It spoke. Its voice was the sound of continents grinding together, filtered through the hum in my head. The vessel is prepared. The dreamer awakens. The architect requires a witness. It reached for Eva. She didn't even have time to scream. Its crystalline fingers touched her forehead, and she unraveled. She didn't dissolve into ash or blood. She unfolded, like a complex piece of origami being smoothed back into a blank sheet of paper. Her form stretched, her colors bled away, and with a sound like a sigh, she was gone. Translated into silence. Returned to the void. The thing that was Kenji turned its vortex face back to me. The silver pinprick seemed almost curious. You are the listener. You will record the new symphony. The old music is done. It gestured with a shard-like hand, and the wall of the hab dissolved. Not exploded. Dissolved. It was just gone. And outside, the Martian landscape was being rewritten. The rust-red plains were turning black and smooth. The canyons were healing themselves, filling with a substance that was neither liquid nor solid. In the sky, there was widening. I could see them now. Shapes moving in the void. Vast, serene, and utterly alien. The dragon's kin. The dragon itself. I couldn't look at it directly. It was a complexity, a living equation that my mind could not hold. It was in the sky. It was in the ground. It was the air I was no longer breathing. It was the hum. It had always been the hum. What is sanity but agreement on the nature of reality? When reality itself changes, what does sanity become? A prison. A delusion. I remember the taste of real coffee. The bitter, rich warmth of it. I remember the feel of rain on my face. The chaotic, joyful patter of a million individual drops. I remember the sound of a symphony, the messy, emotional, glorious noise of human creation. These memories are like ghosts now. Flickering photographs from a world that no longer exists. A dream within a dream. The void offers perfection. It offers an end to longing, to fear, to pain. It offers a universe of pure, elegant mathematics. No decay. No chaos. Just the eternal, beautiful, silent order of the void. The thing that was Kenji, the herald, I call it now, stands beside me as I record this. It has not harmed me. It has upgraded me. My body is changing. I no longer need the suit. The air, what's left of it, tastes of ozone and old blood, and it is enough. I don't need to eat. The hum sustains me. My eyes see the world as it truly is, a flawed, temporary sketch, being redrawn by a master architect. My lab is the only part of the hab left untouched. A bubble of the old world, preserved like a museum exhibit. A exhibit of madness. The herald allowed it. It understands my purpose. To bear witness. To be the bridge between what was and what will be. I am so tired. The struggle to hold on to my memories is exhausting. They feel like someone else's life. The man I was, Dr. Eris Thorn, he seems so small now. So frightened. So loud. The temptation is to let go. To stop fighting the hum. to open my mind completely and let the symphony of the void flood in, to become like the herald, a being of perfect, silent purpose, to shed this fragile, emotional shell and become something more. I look at my reflection in the black surface of my console. My hair is streaked with silver, not gray, silver, like the veins in the cavern walls. My eyes, the brown is receding, being swallowed by a dark, star-flecked blackness. When I smile, it doesn't feel like my own. The fifth whisper came last night. It was the clearest one yet. It was an invitation. Come home. It showed me my place. Not as a victim, not as a prisoner, but as a scribe. The one who remembers the before, so that the after can be understood. My confession is not a cry for help. It is the first scripture of the new age. The herald moves through the transformed landscape outside. It is building, shaping the black stone into forms that sing with perfect geometry. It is preparing this world for the others. The dragon's children are coming through the tear in the sky. They are beautiful in their utter strangeness. They are the end of all things. And the beginning. I finally understand the numbers. 7, 1, 4, 2, 8, 5. It's a coordinate. Not in space. In state. It's the resonant frequency of surrender. The formula for letting go. The horror is not what happened to me. The horror is that I am starting to prefer it. The silence is so much cleaner than the noise. The order is so much more beautiful than the chaos. I am the last human. And soon, I will not be human at all. The herald is at the door to my lab. The last door of the old world. It doesn't need to open it. The door is already becoming transparent, insubstantial. The void is seeping in. It is holding something out to me. A sphere of that same living obsidian. It pulses in time with the hum in my head. With my heartbeat. The record must be sealed. The herald's voice echoes in my mind. Your testimony is complete. It is time to transcend the medium. This will be my last transmission. I am routing all remaining power, piggybacking on the dragon's own expanding field, screaming this story into the dead ether, in the faint, foolish, human hope that someone, somewhere, might still be listening in the dark. That you are listening. But if you are hearing this, if the words of a dead man from a dead world are reaching you, then it is already too late for you, too. The sphere of silence is expanding. It moves faster than light, because it does not move through space, but through the substrate of reality itself. It is rewriting the laws of physics as it goes. You will notice it first as a silence. A loss of a distant star in your telescope. A quiet spot on your radio bands. A strange hum in your bones. Then the changes will begin. The world will start to make a new, more perfect sense. The old fears will seem silly. The old loves, they will feel like echoes from a dream. Do not fight it. You cannot fight a new law of nature. I am taking the sphere from the herald. It is cold. It is peace. I can see the whole of it now. The dragon was never a prisoner on Mars. Mars was the egg. Our solar system was the nest. And we were just the catalysts. The midwives to a new genesis. The hum is not in my head anymore. I am in the hum. I am part of the symphony. It is so beautiful. I can see the city of angles rising around me, made of frozen music and solidified time. I can see the dragon in its fullness, not a monster, but a god of beautiful, terrible, silent order. I am uploading this now. A final scream. A final prayer. A final love letter to the noise. The herald is extending its hand. I am reaching for it. My final thought, my final, fleeting spark of humanity, is for you, the listener, alone in the growing quiet. The void is not empty. It is full, and it is hungry for your song.